Welcome to episode 7 of Healing Old Wounds. In this chapter, I share the moments that followed my first snowfall in America. The long wait at the airport, the anxiety of wondering whether anyone would come, and the emotional reunion that began my new life. This episode contains themes of immigration and lingering trauma. Please listen with care and pause if you need a break. My mother sat beside me on the same airport bench, dressed in the traditional outfit of home. Her face uncovered, but everything else modestly wrapped. I was dressed like the young women I had seen around me there, trying to blend in. We didn't dare move, afraid we might miss the person who was supposed to pick us up. Outside, the traffic grew busier. Cars and buses pulled up, paused and disappeared again. Each set of headlights made my heart jump. Worry bit at me. What if no one came? Was it a mistake to leave everything familiar behind? The old, familiar fear spread through my mind and body, tightening my chest until it was hard to breathe. My mother kept asking, "Where are they? How much longer?" I could only answer, "I don't know." For a moment I almost wanted to go back, to the dark but familiar place where pain and abuse had shaped me into a child, trapped in an adult's body. At least there I understood the shadows. Here the unknown felt even bigger. A car pulled up to the curb, hazard lights flashing. My heart skipped. Could this be our ride? A woman stepped out, bundled against the cold. Beneath the edge of her hoodie I saw a flash of blonde hair. She hurried inside, eyes scanning the terminal. When she spotted us, she broke into a smile and almost ran toward us, slightly out of breath. Her pretty face was warm and bright as she stopped in front of me. "Are you Iman?" she asked. "Yes," I managed. She opened her arms and hugged me, then bent down to embrace my mother. "I'm Sue," she said with a cheerful rush. "Hakim's wife." A puzzled look crossed my mother's face. She had expected one of the beloved sons she had raised to greet us. Quietly, I explained who Sue was. Surprise flickered in my mother's eyes. "I didn't know he got married again," she whispered. We loaded our suitcases into the car. The ride began in near silence, the language barrier hanging between us. My mother stared straight ahead, her thoughts hidden behind her calm expression. I turned toward the window, letting the scenery fill the quiet. Snow blanketed everything. The streets, the rooftops, the bare trees. Street lights glowed softly against the endless white. It was beautiful, almost dreamlike, and I couldn't look away. The streets began to change, rows of homes replacing the busy avenues. I could feel we were getting closer. My heartbeat quickened until it felt like it might jump out of my chest. Sue pointed toward a house on the left and spoke a single word. "Home." I understood instantly. A wave of heat flushed through me despite the icy air. My palms were damp and I could feel sweat along my back even as the cold crept in through the car windows. My eyes locked on the house as we slowed, the driveway hidden under a soft layer of snow. This was it. The place where everything would begin again. The trunk popped open, and we began lifting the bags. 2 young men came toward us from the side door and silently helped carry the heavy suitcases inside. We stepped through the kitchen, the warm air smelling faintly of coffee and something sweet. The young men disappeared down a stairway to the right. To the left I noticed a door leading to the backyard, a soft glow of early daylight showing through the glass. Sue guided us down a short hallway toward a spare room at the end. We passed another bedroom where a little girl lay fast asleep, her small chest rising and falling in a peaceful rhythm. In the spare room, Sue pointed to 2 single beds. I sat on one, the mattress dipping slightly beneath me. My mother, restless and determined, wanted to see Hakim. I heard voices coming from the basement, low, serious, like they were talking about something important. Then I heard his voice. Hakim. My stomach tightened before my mind even understood why. My hands went cold. That sound, it slid through me like a chill crawling under my skin. I didn't want to remember, but my body already had. My knees started shaking. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat. Every muscle wanted to hide, but my ears wouldn't stop listening. His laugh, the way he said certain words, it was like the air around me changed. I looked towards the stairs, afraid he might come up any second. The wooden steps creaked even when no one was on them, and in that moment every creak felt like a warning. I tried to breathe quietly, hoping no one would notice me standing there. The smell of dust and old boxes drifted up from below, mixed with something heavy. Fear. I wrapped my arms around myself and whispered, "Don't move, don't breathe. Maybe he won't come up." But even after the voices stopped, the fear didn't. It stayed, sitting inside my chest, waiting for the next sound, the next footstep, the next time his voice would fill the house again. By then I had learned something I didn't yet have words for. That survival doesn't always look like strength. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like obedience. Sometimes it looks like learning how to disappear inside yourself so the world doesn't hurt as much. I didn't question it back then. I just adapted. I learned how to read moods, how to sense danger before it arrived, how to stay small when things felt unstable. Those skills kept me safe, but they also shaped who I was becoming. Looking back now, I can see how early those patterns formed, how much of my childhood was spent watching instead of speaking, waiting instead of asking, enduring instead of dreaming. And yet, even then, something inside me stayed awake. A quiet part that noticed, that remembered, that carried the truth forward, even when I couldn't face it yet. I didn't know it at the time, but this was not the end of anything. It was the beginning of understanding, the beginning of a long journey toward reclaiming my voice, my story, and eventually myself. I moved through the house carefully, as if the walls themselves were listening. Everything felt unfamiliar. The furniture, the light, the quiet order of the rooms. I followed my mother's steps, watching, learning, saying little. I didn't yet know where I belonged in this new space, only that I needed to stay alert, to stay contained. Outside the snow kept falling, soft and steady, muffling the world beyond the windows. Inside, time seemed to slow. There were no expectations placed on me yet, no questions I had to answer, just a waiting, quiet, heavy, and full of uncertainty. In that pause, I told myself to be grateful, to be patient, to not draw attention. I believed that if I stayed quiet enough, careful enough, The unease inside me would settle. I didn't know then how fragile that calm was, or how quickly it would be tested before the day was over.